Hey everybody, this is Victor. I'm here with Ladan, and we're going to be talking about how he went from a full-time PhD student to his first 37K net profit flip. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So, why do we look so alike?
That's a good question. So, full disclosure, we're brothers, so that's why we look so alike. And yeah, but still, kind of want to share your story with regards to the flipping, because you still do flips. I know it's a family business, but you do the flips as well. You've got one going now. So just kind of want to talk about that and just share your story, and just like the other interview formats I've done. But that's pretty much it. Okay. So would love to talk about it. What's the story with this flip? What did it start out as? And just love to hear about it, and we'll dive deeper.
Yeah, so this flip, we bought it 2 years ago, here in Gainesville. That was actually the first house that we bought, also as a family and everything like this, with my own money, money that I had from a previous house. And we had it rented out for those 2 years. And then now during the summer, we thought the time was right. And so we're like, okay, let's sell it. And so we, sold it. I think you'll have to confirm the numbers a little bit for me, because the numbers are a little bit shaky. I don't know it if I don't write it down, and I didn't write it down. But
no, it's okay.
I think we bought it for 35.
Yep.
And had 2 years of rentals for $800 a month, and then we put something like 25 into it now to get it fixed up, to get it up and ready. And then now we've just gone under contract for 123 minus all the fees and everything like this. So right. We're looking to net, whatever that is, like 60, 70K. So like, no?
Oh no, 37, because there's like closing costs and like seller credit and all that stuff.
Exactly.
And then the repairs, yeah. Like net, because I'm not counting the rental income, so I guess if you added that, it'd be higher. It'd be a lot higher, actually. But I'm not counting. I'm just like pure, like if you bought it, fixed up, and sold it, it'd be that much. So it might be like 50, 60. Yeah. I'm thinking about it. But I understand, like, you don't flip houses full time. Like you're full-time PhD student. If you can talk about that, how you're able to handle doing the rental, doing the flip as well at the same time.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a full-time PhD student. I have other side projects as well that my family makes fun of me for, and it's kind of side businesses and everything like this. So I'm a pretty good busy guy. Actually, last night I was out for my other business till 1 a.m. Coming out here, so delivering something. So I do that. But it wasn't too hard. I mean, even like being a landlord and everything like this. And granted, we had a great tenant, so she didn't, demand a lot. So it wasn't too hard because of that. A few repairs here and there. But, over the 2 years, I would say 30 hours or something like this over 2 years. Yeah. And then, I mean, because we have that, general contractor, we were able to get everything repaired and finished and everything like this, without me pretty much doing anything. Like I just kind of said, like, I want this. Granted, that is a little bit more expensive, but, the level of quality was so much higher than what I could have done, that what I've done in the past. I have fixed houses and everything like this, but, and then it was just, it was turnkey. So I could continue going to work, and then maybe I'd pop in once a week or something like this. I think it took 3-4 weeks to get done. And so, like it was very easy for me, and it wasn't, too hard. And then granted, I mean, you had found the deal originally, and so that was the easy part. And so basically, if I have to be honest, like I think I've put in maybe 50 hours over the last 2 years, like total. That's meeting with the tenant and chatting, like that's including that too, like, which is a lot. That's probably like 20 hours of that, honestly.
So half the time was just spent chatting with someone. Yeah,
pretty much. That's work.
Yeah. Well, that brings a good point. Like I always say, you make your money when you buy the deal. So like in your case, once we had the deal, it was just kind of smooth flowing from there. Like you had a good tenant, you had everything. It just kind of worked. So that was the hardest thing, like getting the deal. And 20 hours over 2 years, or like 30 hours of actual work, that's not bad. Like an hour a month.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it is better because I have you guys, our mom and you, like they helped as well, and they helped. You guys helped in a way that is very short for you, but for me would take maybe longer. So let's add on maybe another 10, 20 hours if I didn't have, somebody like you. But yeah, honestly, it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't, I could handle like 3, 4, 5 of these, and it honestly wouldn't even move the needle for me. Like I could still be doing my other projects, and time wise, it wouldn't affect me.
So you still feel comfortable like working full time and like do 3, 4 at the same time?
Not an issue.
Okay.
And again, I mean, I could be in a special situation. Maybe my work is easier. My work is very flexible. I can come in later. I can leave later, as long as the job is done. And this has also been kind of a ramping up time. I've kind of switched between labs and everything like this. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not possible. Maybe if you are like a lawyer or something like this, working 80-hour work weeks, then maybe it's not possible. I don't know. But in my experience, it was very, very
For
doable.
you, it was doable. Okay. And then, because I remember when we bought the place, like we were doing the work initially.
Yeah.
And then eventually we transitioned to like a general contractor model. So I think, just like you mentioned before, like the quality of the work wasn't as good. Because I think the first thing we did when we bought the place, we like fixed the fence or something like that. And just like very minor work. I don't know if do we have to rip out that fence and put in a new one, or what do we do?
We did end up doing that. That fence lasted there 2 years, but it was just like, it was kind of ridiculous. We're just like literally hobbling it together. Just like, hey, I found a nail, like boom, 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 and then that's the nail that we put in.
I remember that.
It was like to save a few bucks. Like it was really kind of embarrassing, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to put in a lot of money when you have a tenant, because honestly, they're going to destroy it. 2 years into it, like it's not going to look as good, and you're going to get half the money back. You're going to have to fix it anyways, replace it. So I mean, I don't know. Like I don't know if we would have done the general contractor in the beginning, because that's expensive, and you want a return on investment at that point too.
Okay, no, I'm with you there. And then what was the process like? Because it took 3, 4 weeks to get all the renovations done. Like you would pop in every week. Like what was the process like in your mind, just seeing that done? Where you're like, okay, did you already know what it was going to look like, or did you just like kind of talk through that a little bit?
Yeah, so it was a little bit, it's a strange layout, and so I had some special requests. Basically it was kind of a dark house, so wanted to brighten it up, and so they were able to do that, and it was really cool. I mean, yeah, again, like I just kind of popped in once a week and saw the progress. Did a video, did a filming of that, which we might show in another video, kind of the progress of that. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't difficult at all. I mean, it was very, very easy. But I was also very pleasantly surprised. Like, wow, this place cleans up really well. Almost like a person. Like they clean, they shave, they shower, and it's just like, wow, you're like a completely different person. You're no longer homeless. And so I think that was really good. The issue with this was it took like 3, 4 weeks. It was a very long process. Well, very long process for us. But a majority of that was actually we were waiting on the kitchen cabinets.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because they had to first demolish it, and then they measured it, and then they sent out the request, and then that took 2 weeks. So like, if that was, and that was holding everything up. Like literally, there was nothing going on there for 1 or 2 weeks, and we were just waiting for the custom cabinet makers to do that, which I think is good. Better to have something that fits and looks nice rather than just something off the shelf for something that important. From Home Depot. That's what we decided later too. So, if you really put your mind to it, and if you have money, honestly, then you can get it done really fast. If you're saving $500 every week from your job, then that process is going to take you longer, because like I said, it was $25,000 to put into it.
Right, so that would take a really long time. Okay, no, that's
a year.
A year. It would take a year. Yeah, it would take a long time to do it. Especially if you try to do the work yourself, it might not look as good. I think that's what's also helped it sell, and we can talk about that selling process as well. But I think it really helped it sell quicker just because higher quality, like it looks nice. Like it's people who do it day in, day out, and they're putting it in versus us doing it. And there's a stark difference.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want like homey or rustic or, like very cozy. I don't know, like you want something nice. Those aren't necessarily synonymous with like high prices, I would say. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think so too. It's just like professional, modern. I think those are more high prices.
Exactly.
So that's the renovation process. So that went pretty smoothly, except for that waiting period. Just kind of the market we're in, things take a lot of time. Oh,
and then as always, we went over budget. Like we went, we were quoted, I think 19, and then it went up to 24, 25. So, I think it's pretty much a rule at this point is like 20% overrun, like cost overrun, like honestly 20-30%, and you know, something always pops up and it's just like, oh, we had to fix this that we didn't expect, and so you know, that was unpleasant, but you know, not too surprising. If it was double, you know, then I'd be like, whoa, this is unacceptable. But you know, 20%, which I'm thinking, that's about 20%, 25%. You know, that's
not bad. Yeah. But you're still profitable. Like, you're still making a lot of money.
Exactly.
You're doing really well. So you can't be too mad at it. Okay. So that sounds good. What about the selling process? Like, how did that unravel? How did that go? Entire thing.
So we kind of fumbled that one, or I did that. So I saw, you know, a house, you know, just down the road from here, from where I'm living now, that went for, you know, 10% above what we were thinking it would go for. And then a bunch of close friends were buying houses, and the market was hot, and interest rates went down. So I was like, guys, we need to list this for much higher. So yeah, we listed it for about 10% higher than what you guys were comfortable with. And then we got an offer, but then they backed away, and then it's just like, oh shoot. And then it sat for like 3 weeks. We lowered the price twice, and in the end, we got an offer for pretty much what you guys were thinking it was going to sell for. So we lost a month. But in the end, we didn't lose any money. Like, we got pretty much the same money,
right.
But that money, we could have had that money a month earlier, and that could have been, you know, doing other stuff in that time. You had mentioned that we had lost a deal, or like there was a deal that we could have used that money for, you know, but I don't know. So, you know, I kind of take responsibility. I'm also thinking a little bit like, it did work because we did get that initial offer, and then we counter offered. I think we should have just accepted it, but and then who knows if they would have backed away still at that point. But I don't consider it a complete failure. I consider it only an 80% failure.
Well, it's a lesson. Like, at least we know for the future, like, okay, how we're pricing these properties is correct.
Yeah.
Because it is possible to like underprice it, and it's like, oh, it sells quick. And in today's market, it's a hot market in terms of selling it. So you don't know if like it sells quick because you're on the money or because you're just like low priced. So it's just good to know, like, if you test your hypotheses, like you test your assumptions over and over again over time, then like, okay, I actually know what I'm doing. It's not, you know, just random.
And I would have been very upset if it sold, like, because you guys have a lot of houses that sell, boom, first day that it's on the market. And I would have been like, man, we listed it for too low at that point. You know, we left $10,000 on the table. And, you know, I would have been very unhappy. And for somebody like me who doesn't do a lot of these, this is kind of more of a special thing. Like I said, once every 2 years, you know, it's missing out on a lot of money versus you guys do more flips, so it's a little bit like, okay, we'll make it up on the next deal, and so it's not such a big deal, honestly. Like, you can leave a little bit of money on the table and just, you know, turn it around fast, but like for me, it's so precious that like I want to milk it for all it's worth.
That's a really good point too, because that was something, like, as it was waiting on the market, that was like a thought we had. Like, okay, it's one thing if you wait an extra month and get an extra $1,000, like, you're like, oh, I made an extra $1,000. But if you shorten that time frame, like your cycle of money, your frequency of money, you can keep on going through that. And like, okay, took this money and put it into another deal, put it into another deal. Like, you'll make more over the entire year versus trying to milk, you know, every little dollar out of every single deal. So I still like that model, like really going quick with all of them. Just like in and out, boom. And then it's also a huge psychological benefit to be in and out. Like, oh, it sold first day, awesome. Versus sitting on the market for a month. I know during those days in the month, I was like, you know, is it going to sell? Is it ever, you know, what's going to happen with it? Because it just sat there.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, damn it. Like, it's not going to sell at all, you know, and then we're going to have to give it away pretty much. But yeah, I mean, so for me, like, I was also looking at it like, okay, I've had this for 2 years. I've had it for 24 months. What's an extra month, you know? So I was willing to take that gamble. But again, for you guys, and then like, I don't necessarily have anything that I'm going to be using the money for. I just thought it was a good time to sell. You know, so like for me, it's not like, okay, it wasn't as clear. It's not as clear of a formula as it is for you guys. Like, okay, that 1 month will turn into this much, you know, this much revenue, which, you know, doing quick math, I mean, I think that would be essentially, yeah, like a month, it would essentially be $2,000-$3,000 worth of revenue, with the way that we're doing things, the flipping houses and everything like this, from that revenue of the house. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know, like, again, like if you're gonna get 10,000 more, maybe it is worth waiting that extra month, losing the 2,000-3,000, but getting 10,000 more. So I don't know, but yeah, we kind of I think I broke a previous theory or previous way of thinking before, and it was like, okay, how do we price it? And so it's kind of like, okay, well, we broke that edge case and we broke those extremes, so maybe that theory doesn't work. And I don't know. I mean, like as you're learning it, you're kind of figuring it out a little bit more. So yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, but I'm happy that it sold.
That's good. Yeah. Well, it's under contract, so we still got to work through the process.
That's true. It's not today. Don't count your eggs before they hatch.
But no, I'm confident. Like if we got 2 offers, like the first one they backed out, second one was good, and we're under contract. Like I'm sure we can get another one.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign as well. But okay, so we'll see on that. What are your thoughts, like future with you doing real estate? Like, are you open to doing more flips in the future? Do you want to do more rentals? I know you have some other businesses. Do you want to focus on those? Like, what are your thoughts in general with?
Yeah, so basically the money, the businesses would probably be, where I would want to put it. One of the businesses does not need money at all. Like it's literally, I've already invested everything and it's generating money now. The other one would need, investment, but at this point it doesn't make sense. Maybe 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, I would need to put it more in. So yeah, I mean, I would be open to to doing more flips. And it would be flips. The rentals, honestly, like I ran the numbers, I'm an engineer, so I love to, do spreadsheets, and I've kind of annoyed you guys with these spreadsheets, but like, I think they're pretty good predictors of, where you can be at, what you can expect.
Right.
And, with some of these numbers, I don't know if you want to share, like you guys have been getting essentially 30% return on investment, right, yearly. And I think that was limited. I think it could be more actually. I think it could be 35, 40, just, we weren't utilizing the money as efficiently as we could. But what I calculated with the rentals, like you're lucky to be hitting 8%, 10%. And then, we were talking about Airbnb too, and Airbnb makes 2.5 times more than rent. You got to put more effort into it, more time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears. But even that only bumps it up to 12, 14%. Okay. So the flipping, it just makes so much money. Like it's an ungodly amount of money compared to everything else. So like flipping 100%, it doesn't make sense to do anything else. Honestly, like you're making more than twice as much doing the flips.
So you've run the numbers, doing the flips makes sense. I just want to kind of gauge your sense of like doing real estate in the future. It sounds like you're open to it. Like this was a good experience. You learned from it. It wasn't perfect. It never is, and that's fine. But like you're like, yeah, I want to do it again.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. And especially, I mean, now like we have a team, we have a general contractor. Yep. You can find the deals. We can put all this stuff together. So it's a little bit more. The momentum is already there, and so for me to plug into that is very little effort. So. Yeah, no, I think this is good, but for the listeners and everything like this, they might need to build that up, but shouldn't take too long, honestly, a few months or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's doable. Like we started from scratch basically here. Okay, like any advice or anything for people getting started in flipping or getting started in real estate?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't affect me. Like, this isn't my first house, and it like I've seen you guys do it and everything like this. But a lot of people are afraid and like get really nervous with a lot of this stuff, and just like, oh my God, I'm buying houses, so much money, and whoa, and you get hung up on every detail, and you just really get stressed out with it. A friend of ours is buying a house at this time, and it's like she's living through it, and it's just like, oh my God, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it's also my style, my personality, or something like this. But I think don't worry about it. I mean, just kind of, accept it. Accept that there's going to be 20% cost overruns. Accept that things aren't going to go to plan. Maybe it's not going to sell as fast as you want. Like budget that in to your like mental model of how things are going to go. Because happiness is outcome minus expectation. So basically, yeah. If your outcome is positive and your expectation is 0, then you're happy. That's essentially it. Like so just have really low standards, I guess, and then you'll be happy.
That's fun. I haven't heard that one before. That's good. You got a formula for happiness.
Formula for happiness, ladies and gentlemen.
That's well, that sounds good. So I think that's good advice. Like just get started. Like things are going to go wrong. Just just kind of deal with it. As long as you're profitable, like you'll be fine. Okay, well, very good. Any final thoughts as we wrap up here, as we kind of wrap up discussing your story?
No, I think this is good. You know, it is kind of you know, exhibitionist, like to talk about these numbers and everything like this. And you know, I don't know how many people are going to be watching this, but at the same time, it is kind of like I feel kind of naked doing this, but I think it's good. You know, and it's the reality. Like we're not trying to, like, you know, polish a turd or anything like this. It is what it is, you know, and then you know, if people want to decide to do this, they can. But I think what you're doing is really good too. Like, people need the mentor. Like, if I was doing this by myself, like, it's without contacts, without, you know, knowing how to do everything, I think it's really good. So I think what you're doing is really good, kind of holding people's hand on the first few deals, and then they gotta get started. So you know, keep doing what you're doing, and you know, for any students or anything like this, like, I think this is I think it's the best way to do it. Like, that's how people always learned everything. You know, back in the past, they did apprenticeships. You know, you wanted to be a blacksmith, and you worked with the blacksmith for a few years, and then you became a blacksmith because you knew it. And so that's the natural way to learn. It's not classes, it's not courses, it's not, you know, online videos. You have to do the thing with the teacher, and I think that's the only way to learn, honestly.
I think it's spot on. That's how I see it too. Like that hand holding. Hey, I have a question. Okay, get that question answered ASAP versus trying to figure it out on your own. That's kind of how I started, kind of trying to do it on our own, and I think that was a mistake as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to do it, and that's the thing, is like, you make mistakes. Yep. Except when you're doing these mistakes can be $10,000, $20,000, you know. So it's just like, wow, and then that's not guaranteed. Like, oh, you made one mistake, like, okay, you're done. You're not going to make a mistake anymore. Like, so you could be making $5,000, $10,000, $5,000, $1,000, you know, and then boom, and then it's like, okay, well, I could have saved $20,000 if I knew what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. And some of the thing is, like, some of the mistakes are hidden, just like with the pricing thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's hidden, or like the ROI thing. Like, if we're in and out quicker, that's a part of it too. So it's like hidden costs, like hidden fees that are hitting you. You know, just do it right the first time, basically.
Yeah. Just be perfect from the beginning.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Well, sounds good. I do appreciate you doing this. Do appreciate you sharing your story. I hope everyone listening is going to get some benefit from this as well. But thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.